Ariana Grande's Rift Tour event is here, and man has it been an absolute blast to partake in this moment of Fortnite history. Unlike other events of Fortnite's past, Rift Tour is just like a concert tour, meaning you can go back and check out anything you missed. And we've done just that, scouring the event for every nugget and morsel of hidden information that we can find. We've got the scoop on all the secrets and have theories as to their potential lore implications. So without further ado, let's dive in. We got into the game early and made sure to grab a good seat, just in case this event ended up being like the Marvel Galactus event from Chapter 2, Season 4, where the big guy comes in from a certain angle. A giant Ariana Grande did not rise out of the ocean to meet us here. Well, not yet anyway. Instead, we were left to explore the UFO above the aftermath locale. Now, little did we know, there were actually a few secrets to discover right here. If you joined right as the event started, you might have missed out on the fun, but we've got your back. At designated points on the ship, there were glowing beacons. When activated, one of the beacons turned you into a prop to engage in hijinks with your friends. Another created a giant hollow projection of yourself, copying your selected emote exactly for all to see. There were actually a few fights for the spotlight, but we all know who the real star is of this concert. As the countdown came to a close and a beginning soon message appeared, finally we were off. A big old rift door opened up and we were sucked into it. In this new dimension is where one of our biggest secrets could be found. We whizzed through this dark tunnel, and on either side of us there were bubbles showing past events and trailers. As longtime Fortnite fanatics, we recognized quite a few immediately. We saw Season 6's Kevin the Cube Island Rising, the volcanic eruption from Season 8, the Monster vs. Mecha Season 9 finale, Peely giving Jonesy the stink eye in Season X's iconic trailer, as well as the Visitor's Rocket and the End event. But that's not all. There was also a glimpse of Kevin the Cube on the Chapter 2 map. As our assuredly upcoming friend Naruto would say, believe it! Did you catch all of these your first time watching? Let us know in the comments below. Could this realm be some sort of nexus? Could all the events be tied together in some grand scheme? We're leaning towards yes. Fortnite has a history of building upon one event from another. Why leave the Ariana Grande concert out? It's a nice change of pace from the Travis Scott concert, which was mostly just a visceral, awesome experience. Moving towards the end of the tunnel, we saw what might be one of the coolest visuals a Fortnite event has given us yet. Giving off some heavy sci-fi Space Odyssey vibes and fitting very nicely into Season 7's theme, we were met with a gargantuan version of our own Fortnite skin floating in space. In our case, it was none other than Summer Sky, legendary adventurer. This was epic, and honestly, a little scary. Were you as freaked out and awed by this as we were? How did the little Sky feel to be snatched up by the big one, we wonder? This was just our first glimpse into some truly colossal woman throughout this event. What is this, Resident Evil Village? Anyways, after the big teen snatched up her smaller counterpart, we were transported to a totally tubular experience. Yes, in this wonderful painted yogurt land, we were treated to gameplay somewhat similar to Downtown Drop, only a whole lot more colorful. Having the ability to boost and jump, it was almost like we were back in our SSX Tricky days. There were blue and orange collectibles to obtain, but we have been unable to ascertain just what exactly they're used for. Do you guys know? Do you think anyone was able to get all the gold ones before they were snatched away? We doubt it. The big thing to point out here, and we mean big thing, are the bendy and twisty skins looming above the track. They are certainly apt to be the overlords of this warped experience. But these guys are small fries compared to our next big secret. After the twisted slide, we are submerged in pink goop and find ourselves in a very Dr. Seuss-inspired area. We half expected this to be a Lorax crossover, but no, as we got closer, we noticed something interesting. The floor is made of stitching, and those big pink trees, why, those are simply strands of fur. Just who is wearing such a ginormous costume? In the distance, the classic heartbreaker-shaped clouds gave it away. It's none other than Cuddle team leader herself. If you thought the Mecha team leader was big, get out of here! Summer Sky is nothing but a flea compared to this titanic bear. What's extra neat about traversing her landscape of a body is how it gave us the ability to perform rolls and spins, harkening back to the shadows of Chapter 2 Season 4's Midas Revenge and Chapter 1's Cube Shards. Before we knew it though, the massive head of Cuddle team leader gives way to an expanse of blackness as we were suddenly confronted by the big bad himself, the Storm King. That's right, he's back in all his glory. Hopping onto a Stormwing, you face off against the Storm King. Ha, that rhymed. This gave us fond memories both of Save the World and the Chapter 2 Season 4 Galactus event with its rail shooter-inspired gameplay. The prominence of the Stormwing planes makes us wonder though, is this highly divisive vehicle going to make a comeback? We sure hope so. We need some plane versus choppa battles. Anyways, on to the big secret of this area. If you look closely, the brute fiends you can blow up for points are dancing. That's right, they came here for a concert just like you, and in return, they get a belly full of 50 caliber rounds. Hardly seems fair. there. Oh, you poor fiends. Then again, that's what they get for serving such an evil being. But wait, why is the Storm King here anyway? Was he revived by the loop? The last time we saw him, our collected efforts put him down, presumably for good. His appearance raises more questions than it answers, and with Save the World no longer being updated, it falls to Battle Royale to give us answers. What do you think? Was the Storm King put here for just a cool visual, or does it mean something more? Let us know in the comments below. With the wrath of the Storm King destroying our plane, we find ourselves in a black expanse only to be greeted by Drift. This is very significant. If you recall, Drift is actually from the real world, our world, and was sucked into Fortnite through a rift. This being the Rift Tour event, it's very telling that Drift is given special attention. With the release of the Fox Clan crew member V a few months back, we have little doubt that there are bigger things planned for this fan-favorite Rift Traveler, and we can't wait to see them. In a touching display, Fortnite players around the world pick each other up, bloodied but victorious. We saw all types of outfits, and we can confirm that the skin placement was the same for everybody that experienced this event. Were the skins chosen significant? We're guessing not, seeing as how there were many repeats in the crowd. Then again, maybe that in itself is significant? Anyway you look at it, with the king dethroned, it's time to bring on the queen. We're nearly 5 minutes into the event and still no sign of Ariana Grande. What gives? Thankfully, she doesn't keep us waiting much longer. After a fancy light show, Ariana begins dancing out at sea, surrounded by her adoring fans. Much like Travis Scott before her, she is big, although she never reaches the heights he did, and both are dwarfed by the Cuddle team leader. Quick fact check, was she bigger than Galactus? We're betting yes. Anyways, the main takeaway for these sections is that Epic is likely testing out new mechanics for use in Battle Royale. We doubt they would come up with all of these specific player animations for one sole event, but maybe we're wrong. One quick thing about Ariana, did you notice that her wings look awfully familiar? That's right, we're talking about the infamous Rift Butterfly. This thing is everywhere. Recently, we thought that it was none other than John Jones, who transformed into it in the Season 5 finale, but we haven't seen a peep from him all season. No, our money's on the Rift Butterfly being far more significant to the plot than that, and it being the theme of Ariana's outfit is a big hint to that. We've got another secret reference to explore. In this next segment, were you left confused, stupefied, dumbfounded by the complex ways the stairs went around? So were we, and it started all the way back in school when we learned about MC Escher. You see, these twisted staircases are an homage to the legendary artist whose surrealist works still awe us to this day. An Ariana Grande concert in Fortnite is the last place we thought we'd see a callback to Escher, and we're quite impressed with their art history know-how. Okay, now we have to talk about the ending segment. Were those rainbow loops endless? Did anyone go through all of them? Are there Fortnite players out there that are still flying on their llama companions? We sure hope not, because that would just be sad. We flew around for about 20 minutes before calling it quits, but we have to wonder, what would have happened if we stayed? Surviving 100 days above Fortnite Island, anyone? Whether or not these rings had any greater meaning, at least we racked up some sweet XP from them. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.